Yeah. So, like most kids, I grew up, I was very fascinated about airplanes. And I always wanted to be, I dreamt of becoming an aeronautical engineer. And I was very successful at it. And having worked with Tata Advanced Systems for quite a while, then I realized that there were more leadership opportunities that I got. And felt that I need to take a break and maybe upskill myself and come back as a better leader to my company. And I took a break of 1 year and went on to a fellowship program called as India Fellowship. And as a part of fellowship program, I was introduced to an organization called CHIRAG and the Himalayas. When I went there, I saw this image. I literally saw the kids carrying water and walking like this. And I realized that at the age when I was dreaming of becoming an aeronautical engineer, so these kids had no time to dream because they were fetching water and most of their life went behind, looking after their survival. During my fellowship program, I came up with certain kind of realizations. Like water, we all know is fundamental, yet it is not accessible to many people. And in the Himalayas, you see that people are very helpless also because they can't do anything about it. And there are again a set of very dedicated and a small group of people trying to do something about it. And that made me, think that okay, I have 1 year into the fellowship program, and let me try and contribute something here. So, being from an engineering background, so I was earlier with Tata Advanced Systems making aeroplanes and looking at air as my engineering medium. Now I started looking at water, and I was happy to contribute there. And after working there for for a year, I realized that my company could afford to hire smart people and get its work not interrupted. And but after 1 year, I realized that if I left this place, all the work that I was doing here would get really suffered. And that was a moment where I thought that okay, maybe I should stay back in this sector and try making things better. And based on the experiences that I have had, and the kind of skills that I possessed, and that was one of my awakening moments that prompted me that okay, stay back in this sector. And many well-wishers tried to dissuade me, and saying that you might have had a very brilliant career and think through about your decision. And thankfully, I had a partner who supported and who believed in me, and I went on to do this. And we know that Himalayas are known as the water towers of Asia. But it's very unfortunate that due to the climate change, deforestation, and several other problems like over extraction, the Himalayas are facing one of the most gravest water crises in the present day. So our initiative, Springshed Management, tries to do something about it. And the water security extends beyond merely people not having water to several other cases where it leads to even medical complications. Like if you can relate, we go to Himalayas or mountain ranges to do the trekking, and we know how exerting it is. So imagine a woman having to carry around 40 kgs of head load in terms of water and walking across that steep gradient to fetch water. So how hard it must be. And during one of my assessments of the data that we received from Chirag Hospital, we realized that after the age of 40, 45, there are about 60% of the women who come across a condition called as prolapsed uterus. So that means because of the stress and the endurance that they have to carry in fetching water, they undergo a lot of medical complications. And that has become kind of a norm now. And so the water scarcity, like I said, has gone beyond the medical complications. You can't think of the sanitation and hygiene. And many new generation people prefer not staying in the hills. They prefer migrating and going to the nearby towns and cities where they can have best of the amenities easily accessible to them. And like the Springshed management, if you talk, in a regular case, it's very easy to understand the groundwater table. There's a rainfall that is happening that is going under the ground and forming the water table, which we extract in the form of hand pumps and different other ways. Whereas when you come to the Himalayas, the mountain is very complex, and it takes more than 17 parameters just to make an assessment about what kind of rock orientation it is, what kind of formation it is, whether it can allow the water to go inside it, or how does it behave when the rainwater interacts with it. So this Springshed management initiative essentially looks at simplifying these complexities and trying to look at and identify the area where if you store water will go underneath and recharge the groundwater table, thereby enhancing, reviving the Himalayan springs. So that is what we try to do, try to simplify these complexities. It involves a lot of, field work, field investigations, stakeholder management, talking with people, stakeholders to come together to work on a collective resource. And so this is what basically we do under Springshed management. And if you see till date, we have revived 715 Himalayan springs. And just to put a perspective, each year, because of the revival, the communities have 260 million liters of additional water available to them. And again, just to understand, the basic way of interpreting the numbers, so it is equivalent to about 52,000 water tankers of this pattern that can fill around 106 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So that is the scale that we have been able to achieve working at a particular scale. Like I said, I came from corporate background, and I tried to bring in corporate perspective here. I saw that there are a lot of challenges. There are a lot of willing people who want to do something about the problem that is there, and there are a lot of very good people who are working very sincerely and putting a lot of efforts in making this change. But unfortunately, there is a gap that lies between these two particular ventures, I would say. And so I try to bring in my corporate perspective. So we cannot control the nature. So it's all that we can do about it is, try to identify the pattern, collect more and more data, and see what is the pattern that it is indicating to, and improvise ourselves and our actions so that we are, consciously or unconsciously contributing towards the management of the ecosystem services. And so digitization was one of the primary outcomes that has led us to make very well-informed decisions. And likewise, if you see a better data collection and analysis is not just leaving the emotions outside, but also allowing us to put a special focus about certain kind of initiatives at the policy level that needs to be brought in to scale up this initiative that is the prime priority these days. And also, unlike my corporate world where we used to brainstorm on a lot of ideas, spend a lot of time trying to understand the pros and cons of the ideas, and then get into action. So here we have tried to, in the meantime of, in the time that you would spend on brainstorming, we would try out n number of ideas and see what is working for us and adopt the best. And so this is the corporate, the perspective that we have been able to bring in and bring in more professionalism in the development sector. And the water's requirement for a community is not for a mere 1 year, 2 years, or say, for that matter, for 5 years period also. The community needs water as long as they are living there. So it's a perpetual requirement. And so no organization, be it CHIRAG or even for that matter government, can support all the communities perpetually on their water problems. So we are focusing more on, how do we make the communities pick up that initiative of managing the water resources on their own. And so that's how the water scientists, a cadre of water scientists has been doing excellent work in, taking the onus of reviving the water bodies and maintaining them forever in their particular communities. And there has been a big moment in terms of what impact we could achieve. So there's a lot of collaborations that have paved way for more resource optimized as well as innovative solutions to the problem. And now with more and more collaborations, we are in a better position in terms of financial visibility and the scale that we want to achieve. And there are 2 million springs in the Indian Himalayan region, which are asking for attention. And only the collaborations and the scale in a very structured approach can help us address the requirement of 2 million springs. And more than that, like in the development sector, there is another challenge of sustaining the teams. So through various collaborations, we have been able to bring in that visibility to the team who is working on taking this initiative forward. And the power of collaboration has been such that we have been able to, what the organization could do in last 16 years was to revive 715 springs. But today, in last 4 years, we could reach out to more than 6,000 plus springs that have been revived, and which again, like I say, in terms of numbers, has created more than 3 billion liters of additional water in the Indian Himalayan region. And so one quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson has deeply influenced me, which says, adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. And so the choice of me leaving a corporate job and getting back to development sector was not accident. So it was a deliberate choice. And while I contrast and try to reflect about my journey and the learnings that I have gained so far, the corporates, most of the decisions are driven by the kind of the quick results that you desire. Whereas when you work with the development sector and with the nature, you require a lot of patience. And this sector, like I said, the scale, the demand that it requires a lot of attention. And I invite all of you to collaborate in our journey in making Himalayas water secure. And you can contribute in any way that you can in terms of your skills, research, volunteering. And I welcome you, all of you, to the Himalayas. Thank you.